Hi friends, this is Angela with Wild Violets Art. I'm here again with Fri-Yay Kit-Together. Friday, of course, is one of my favorite days because that means my work days are behind me and I get to play. I actually took today off, so that's slightly untruth for today. So today's been a great day from the very beginning. But I'm here to put together another kit. This one is going to be the Light the Candles card kit. Again, it's one of the Stampin' Up's all-inclusive kits. All you need is this pair of small snips or scissors, and you should have everything you need. This kit is for sale, and I believe it's only $21, and we'll put it together because I've never done this kit. It's still in its saran wrap, so let's take a look at it. Okay, I did provide a link on my Facebook page so that should you be interested in it, all you need to do is click on that link and you can go directly to the kit. They do have this in English and in, looks like, French and German. So Stampin' Up's in 7 different countries. I don't think I could recall all those countries, but I know that Ireland and Brussels are 2 of the newest countries that it's in. So this is my Stampin' Up pair of snips. They're really sharp, but they're also really effective, and especially when I'm doing fussy cutting, that sort of thing. Looks like I need to straighten up my camera there. Okay, so let's take a look. So in this kit, they give you a little Coastal Cabana Stampin' Spot. They give you a set of verses. So it's got Happy, Happy Birthday. It's got Hip, Hip, Hooray, Make a Wish, Wishing for You, Light the Candles and Make a Wish, Birthday Wishes, Happy Birthday to You, and Today's Your Day. And then there's some other little embellishments. So as you can see, this kit has the block. It has some embellishments. Looks like it's got cards and envelopes. And this is what the kit's going to look like when we're done. So it looks like there's 8 cards and 8 envelopes. 4 of them are yellow, 4 of them are blue. So great for boys or girls, women or men, anyone you want. Okay. And just as a reminder, these boxes are great. You can actually turn them wrong side out. I'm going to go ahead and do that now just to show you so that you can actually use the box for a gift. All you need to do is add some ribbon or twine, and there's nothing wrong with having a little brown box. And there you go. Got a great gift box. All you have to do is wrap it if that's what you want to do, or literally just put twine or ribbon around it and you've got a great gift box. Okay, so let's put the kit together. So I usually just snip one side so that I don't mess it up. And if you happen to not have grid paper at home, like this is the paper pumpkin grid paper, then you can actually use the cardboard that the kit comes with. So they've got this nice sturdy piece of cardboard. You can just lay it down and you can stamp on it so that way you're not stamping over onto, you know, your table or tablecloth or countertop, whatever it is you're crafting. So I usually keep these because I do mailings and they come in handy. Okay, so along with the cards, they have, these are little strips of dimensionals. So this is a dimensional strip. They've got the little verses would go on here, and here's some more. So labels, they've got the glue dots and more for the verses. So let's figure out how to put this kit together. Looks like we're going to be making shaker cards, which is really fun. Or adding some dimension. Sorry, not shaker cards, but adding some dimension to the cards. Okay, so this tells you all the things that go with card number 1, and these are all the things that go with card number 4 or number 2. And let's put card number 1 together first. So we're going to find the instructions here. And as a reminder, when it's a small black dot, that means that it's the little glue dot, which is this. And the strip is going to be the foam dimensionals. So that's what that means. And of course, any of the little verses will go on the block. Let's open up the Stampin' Spot. And I typically will cut along the line, and I'll just open up one side. That way I can easily close it and I don't lose the lid. But some people take them all the way off, so you do what works best for you. Okay, so here's the card back. Here's the little candles. This is really pretty. It's actually really glittery. So that'll be fun as the background for the candles. Here's the little birthday cakes and the backgrounds for the birthday cakes. So that's really fun. Okay, so here's the little candles. Looks like they've already stamped the little candle light, and you can see how the shimmer is just going to come right through. So this is going to be really pretty. Okay. So this will be the card base, and it looks like it goes like this according to the directions. So for the background, they want you to put the little glue dots. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a new tool today. So this is called a Pick-a-Tool, and mine's been well loved by all of my class participants and customers. And it has this end, which is a tiny little sharp tool that you can use, and then it's got a little paddle. And if you feel like, or if you've got fingernails maybe that are not real, they're a little thicker, sometimes it's hard to lift them up. So you can actually use the little paddle, or you can use the little tip. And so there's also another end that has like a sticky end. You can just lift them up and place them. And then you can use the little tip to take off the top. I have a little bit too much of that glue on the end. Now, I usually use my fingernails, but you can see how quickly this is coming together. Just when I think it's not going to come off, it does. There we go. Okay, so let's put this on the card, and we're just going to center it on the card. And then they want you to put this dimensional, which is in a, as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it or not, it comes in strips. And this will add dimension to the front of the cards. It's really fun. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one of these out. They want one on the top and one on the bottom. I'm going to place these first, and then I'll take off the backing. So we'll carefully put it on the bottom. And then they want one on each side. Make sure it doesn't go over the edge. Okay, now I'm going to take off the backing. And again, this is something that you can use this tool for if your fingernails just aren't working for something small like this. The tool works as well. Okay, so again, we're going to place this right over the top of the other sheet so that the candles are highlighted. Okay, now we can work on the verse. So this verse looks like there's a couple different things we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to do hip hip hooray. You could do anything you want. There's happy happy birthday, or there's hip hip hooray, and they're both as long, so either one works. And again, with these plastic covers, there's a one that's a little softer and one that's harder, and we're going to leave the stamps on the harder one and just peel off what we need by lifting the thinner one. Okay, so you want to place it. Now this is too long for, actually I'm going to place it on the paper. So when you place it on the paper, then you don't end up having as much trouble getting it to lay straight. Okay, and then we need to use one of these, it looks like. And then we're also going to use one of these. So there's today's your day, little verse. We're going to be doing that one too. But I'm going to lay it on the other side. Okay, so that way I don't have to use it twice. Okay, so before I do that, these photopolymer stamps sometimes have some sort of a surface on them that makes it so that they don't like to collect the ink. So I'm just going to take that off with my hand or with my finger, and that way it'll absorb the ink, or at least hold the ink a little bit better, and it won't separate. Okay, so the little Coastal Cabana inking spot, and looks like everything is inked up just like I want. And I'm going to hold it against it, and this is nice where the blocks are clear and the stamps are clear, and you can see just exactly where it's going to go. I'm holding it down for a second, and ta-da. Okay, so now I'll just rinse this off. Okay, so now we're going to use It's Your Day. And it looks like there's plenty of ink on it. And I'm going to use this little one. So you can see it's showing me there's this little one that gets used as well. And again, I'm just holding it down, and I'm holding this stamp pad level to my table. And that way I don't get any, you can see there is a little bit of a ridge around each one of the stamps. And sometimes if you get a little too carried away and you rock your block too much, you'll get some shadows. So we don't want shadows. But remember, this is handmade. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to have fun, right? We're just going to have some fun crafting. All right. So according to the verse, let's see, the instructions, they want us to use one of these little navy pieces. So this is Night of Navy. And looks like the Night of Navy gets 3 glue dots. I'm just going to use my fingernails, but you use whatever you need to. I'll add the pick a tool and the snips to this post here shortly, or after the Facebook Live. And that way you can, if you're wanting to order those, you can as well. Okay, so it looks like the verse gets centered along here. And I'm just going to push down a little bit. And then the hip hip hooray gets one of these little strips of dimensionals. So I'm just going to center that. And I only need one. And then that gets staggered above. Looks like I have it a little bit off. So it's a little forgiving. I can lift it up. And then this gets some glue dots just on the top so that it hangs on to the edge of the hip hip hooray. See if I've got that straight. Not quite. There we go. Looks like, well, it'll do. All right. And I think we've got embellishments here as well, and they want 7 of these put on. And so I guess they're supposed to be for the candles. So again, this is a good reason to use this tool. Might be the little spatula works better. Nope. You can see that I don't use them nearly as often as my customers do. So let's just see if we can get this to work. Just so you can see how the tool works. So this is just a little sticky. It's not something that will damage any of your cardstock. It's just got a little bit of stickiness to it, so it allows itself to adhere to whatever you're working with. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing on these embellishments to get them up off the window sheet that they're on. And there we go. One card done. All right. Okay, so let's work on the second. Now let's put these stamps away. So how's your week going? Hopefully everybody's having a good time, or you've got great plans for the weekend. I've got a specialty class tomorrow that I'm excited about. It's just an online class, and I'll be posting the tutorial for that here after the class. So if you visit my blog, Angela Meyer, wildvioletsart.com, that's my blog. And then if you need to email me, you can email me, Angela at wildvioletsart. Okay, so the next one is this yellow card with the little birthday cake. So that's really cute. So we need the birthday cake. We need this 3D fancy swirls. Oh, we forgot the little envelope. Let's see which envelope goes with which. Okay, so the blue envelopes go with, or the Coastal Cabana envelopes go with the Coastal Cabana card. See, super cute. All right, we'll just leave that there so you can still see it. Okay, let's get started on this next one. Okay, so we need the yellow card base. We need the round verse. We need one of these. And we need the Happy Birthday to You. And then we're going to put confetti on the card as well. Okay, so I'm going to rub off this, whatever it is they put on there, and so that we can get the ink to stick to it. Okay, so this card's going to go up and down, and just get rid of some of my little trash here so I don't get it stuck to stuff I don't want. Okay, so the happy birthday to you stamp goes just so. The nice thing about circles is when you do a verse on a circle, it actually, you can, if you get it slightly cockeyed, it doesn't matter because you're just going to adjust it, right? You're just going to adjust it however it needs to go. So we'll put that aside. And then we are supposed to stamp. What did I do with my stamp? There it is. So now we're supposed to stamp the confetti. In each corner. And down here. All right, cute. Okay, so once again, we're going back to the directions. And now that I've stamped it, I'm supposed to put the glue dots on the back. And the way I figured out what was the front, what was the back is how it lined up with this. So, just so you know. Okay, so it just goes in the center of the card again. I just want kind of to see if all my sides are even, and then I can lay it down. Oops. Wait a minute, I did that wrong. See, we're all... This is the one that I need to put the glue dots on the back. Okay, so not perfect for sure. You just saw me make a boo-boo. Okay. So I accidentally took that glue dot off. Okay, here we go. This is how we are supposed to put it on. Okay. Then I put the dimensional strips on the back side of this. And so it looks like I need to cut one in half and put it on the inside of the cake to keep it from collapsing. So you can see these places where the cake layers are, and I'm going to stick them on 2 of them. Okay, then you just pull back the backing. Doesn't matter that the glue dots are still under there, they're not going to get touched by anybody. All right. Very cute. All that sparkle and shine. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go. There's a little bit of the sparkle. Okay, and now we're going to do the verse. So the verse gets the black of the little back of the blue. Okay, so that goes right here. And then I cut another one of these strips of dimensionals, and they say cut it in that and then in quarters, so that way I know what length I need. And then I'm just going to stick it on here, that way I can place my verse where it's supposed to go. And we're done with that. And then we just need one embellishment, and it goes in the middle of the little birthday cake. Cute, super easy. It's a beautiful card. And how much do you think you'd pay for this when you were at the grocery store? And my favorites are always the papyrus, because they're 3D and they have embellishments. And I want to say $6 for a card this size. Well, with the kit being only, I'm not sure if it's 19 or 21, but still, you get 8 cards. You know you're only paying a couple bucks for each one of these cards. So that's the great part about it. All right, and then the envelope for it, the cute little stripes. All right. Thank you for joining me. This was another fun kit. And I hope you'll join me again next Friday for our little Fri-Yay Kit-Together. So have a great weekend. And again, this is Angela with Wild Violets Art. I'll upload this to my YouTube. Check out my YouTube. It's Wild Violets Art as well. And like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you so much.